pity upon us. Those of us who are being lied to persistently on a regular basis, that you may have pity upon us. Those who are suffering, those who are sick, those who are diseased right around the world, that you may bring your comforting hand upon them. For those that have passed, O Heavenly Father, that you may comfort their families, that you may comfort them, that your grace, O Heavenly Father, may abide with us now and always, we pray. He said.
Biafra or death, the time people think that we are joking. You know, they think that we are afraid of death like they are. Yes, they are afraid of death because they are uncircumcised Philistines. They are all workers of iniquity. They are all perpetrators of evil. Sucking demons, and that is why they are all afraid of death, because after life here on earth for them, they will go straight to hell to meet their father Lucifer where they belong. But we Biafrans, we are circumcised children of Yahweh, the creator of heaven and earth, and any day we die, going straight to meet our Creator in heaven, because we are His chosen people. And that is why in this world we have more enemies surrounding us than friends. Give us Biafra now, or the world shall vibrate. Unshakable before our enemies. We are resolute and more formidable than our fathers. Our fathers tried, but they did not succeed. But this generation of Biafrans have not just come to succeed, but to destroy our enemies completely. We are Biafrans, and nothing on earth can stop us. Get ready to experience the explosion you have been making since the day you sang your evil songs. Satanic Frederick Krueger to invade Biafra land, because when the time comes, there will be no hidden place for all our enemies. It's either Biafra or death. Biafra or death. Biafra calling me. your grace on yet another time to come and save us in our own time. Mazi Iyke, the double-edged sword, cutting down the head of all the evil men around us. Buhari, where are you? The prophecy of our Savior have come to pass. You are nowhere to be found. We only see your pictures on TV. We are Biafrans, and together with our leader Mazi Iyke, we must bring down this zoo called Nigeria. All hail Biafra.
Fast, simple, and less expensive for you. Go to our website www.ipobinusa.org/donate. That is www.ipobinusa.org/donate and make your contribution. When it comes to keeping our people safe, every bit counts. After all, the security of our communities is our responsibility. Let's make this happen together.
All right, thank you very much. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. My name is Mazi Iyke. I've introduced myself before. So this morning, what I'm going to do right now before we continue is that yesterday was a big day. Our Amazonian brothers joined us, and we've joined them. We are together right now as we speak. Our leader spoke yesterday, and some of us were not privileged to be able to actually follow the entire thing from the beginning to the end. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to go back to that program and run it up to a point before we go into our regular conversations. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. My name is Mazi Iyke. Broadcasting this morning out of Houston, Texas. As usual, I told you I'm going to be here for a while before I get back to base in New York. But Radio Biafra is USA. That's what it is, isn't it? So that means I could broadcast from any part of the United States of America. That's what we are in for. This is Radio Biafra. So let's listen to our leaders yesterday's broadcast. I repeat.
There is nothing more precious in life than freedom.
Your freedom is in your hands.
There is nothing more precious in life than freedom.
Your freedom is in your hands. I have come here as the commander of this revolution to let you know that we will defeat Cameroon. We will not only defeat Cameroon, we will make it impossible for Cameroon again to ever invade our land.
Because this is the appointed generation. And we are going to see Biafra. There is nothing more precious in life than freedom.
Your freedom is in your hands.
There is nothing more precious in life than freedom.
Your freedom is in your hands. I have come here as the commander of this revolution to let you know that we will defeat Cameroon. We will not only defeat Cameroon, we will make it impossible for Cameroon again to ever invade our land.
Because this is the appointed generation. And we are going to see Biafra.
Welcome to Amazonia Communication Network, the most educational and anti-colonial revolutionary TV in sub-Saharan Africa. This primetime event will begin momentarily. We urge our viewers to stand by.
We will make it impossible for Cameroon again to ever invade our land.
Because this is the appointed generation.
65 million people located in the southeast of present-day Nigeria that existed prior to the advent of colonialism in the continent. As an independent state, Biafra carried out its trade and commerce with other neighboring countries before its forceful amalgamation with the northern western parts of the Republic of Nigeria. The people of Biafra briefly enjoyed a spell of independence between 1967 and 1970 when they unilaterally declared secession. However, this move resulted in a deadly civil war that killed almost 2 million people, most of whom were young children who died of starvation, despite the promise of no victor, no vanquished treatment at the end of the war. Biafrans have consistently and systematically been subjected to economic, political, and social strangulation by Nigeria. More than 50 years after the war, the circumstances that led to it are still prevalent, as ethnic tensions are still not resolved. These issues have over several years led to marches, protests, and demonstrations with the demand for a full self-rule for the region. The leader of Ipob, the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Iyke, now holds the mantle to restore that which is rightly theirs, an independent state of Biafra. To the east of Mazi Iyke's ancestral land is that of his newfound partner, Dr. Cho Ayaba, a citizen of the former British Trust territory of southern Cameroon's now called Ambazonia. This liberator, whose people have been battling the colonial state of Cameroon for more than 6 decades, have just entered the 5th year of active combat with its genocidal army. Southern Cameroon's Africa's first democracy that saw a complete peaceful transfer of power after a free and fair election would not long after be violated of its right to self-rule. In violation of international law under Article 4B of the African Union Constitutive Act that froze its boundaries as obtained at independence, Cameroon, on October 1961, marched an army of occupation and colonial administrators across international borders into Ambazonia, a former British Trust territory of southern Cameroons, and have been in colonial occupation till this day. Cameroon would gradually dismantle Ambazonia's political institutions to the extent of annihilating Ambazonia's world-class democratic structures. As prognosticated by a 1972 wire now declassified from the U.S. Embassy Yaoundé to the White House, resentment grew among the people of Ambazonia. By the late 90s, various Ambazonian emancipation movements had been formed and the voices that clamored for full independence were suppressed just as huge mineral deposits were discovered by France, French Cameroon's colonial master. This greed would spiral out for over 6 decades until 5 years ago with the people of Ambazonia decided to fight back method for method. With so much historical justification for both the people of Biafra and their counterparts in Ambazonia, forming collaborative alliances to strengthen their resolve in and has been under consideration for a long time. Today both leaders, and with the support of their respective citizens, are now set to speak for the first time about their groundbreaking relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ambazonian Communication Network will now like to welcome the host of this primetime event. Our hosts will then have the privilege to usher in their leaders, Mazi Iyke, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and Dr. Cho Ayaba, the leader of the Ambazonia Liberation War.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to this historic day. I am Simon Ekpa, an activist of the indigenous people of Biafra. Today, we are bringing to you a historic press briefing of 2 leaders. We are bringing to you this historic press briefing, and today history will be made. On this note, may I bring in these two leaders who have defiled everything the corrupt, terrorist African leaders has brought upon the people. May I use this opportunity to bring to the studio the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the undefeatable leader, a man with 9 lives, the man who have defiled all nature, defiled all terrorist activities of the Nigeria government, the man who have made it possible for us today to be very resilient and very brave to request and agitate for the freedom of the people of Biafra. A man who defeated death. The day the Nigerian government invaded his house and shot dead almost over 100 people. Today, he is leading the world's most powerful movement for the freedom of Biafra people. He is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. IPOB has become one of the world's most powerful movements for the freedom of indigenous people. The IPOB are scattered almost all over 120 countries of the world. Welcome, Mazi Iyke, the HAUSA-SERVICE of Biafra, to the studio.
Simon, and thank you all the wonderful people of Biafra listening and watching right across this very planet Earth. And also I welcome my dear brother, Dr. Cho, who is here with me today, and my greetings to the very resilient and resolute Amazonian people. And I can assure each and every one of them that by the end of this very process, one outcome is inevitable. That is the liberation of our nations. I thank all of you once again, and I do hope that this evening will provide a very compelling insight into what we have in store for our respective peoples in terms of what we are doing to restore God's kingdom upon the face of the earth. That very part of this world that have hitherto been neglected. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the studio, the undefeatable leader of the Ambazonia Liberation of War, Dr. Cho Ayaba. Dr. Cho Ayaba have as well defeated all the terrorist governments in Cameroon. Today, he has given the opportunity for Ambazonians to be very resolute in their quest for freedom of their Ambazonians. Let me use this opportunity once more.
Thanks for having me. First, let me thank my brother, Mazi Iyke, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, for taking this bold step so we can stand shoulder by shoulder and together to face the ultimate systems that have put our people under subjugation. I want to thank our people Ambazonians for showing their understanding to this alliance, and we will be speaking to their fears and aspirations and hope. To the great people of Biafra who have suffered tribulations and torment, I think as your leader has said, you are the appointed generation, and you will see Biafra. Thank you.
Dr. Cho Ayaba, for that wonderful speech. and opening speech. Now we are going to have a brief press briefing from both leaders. Like you know, this is a historic day as we move forward for the liberation of the Ambazonians and Biafra people. The generation of Ambazonia and new generation of Biafra on this day will make history. Let me use this opportunity to bring in the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Iyke, the Ohamadike one of Biafra.
This is a repeat broadcast. Please stay tuned, don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Ambazonia and Biafra, the national anthem of Ambazonia.
This land of glory, we the Ambazonians, special loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the hero who brought along the gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Biafra and Ambazonia, the national anthem of the indigenous people of Biafra.
Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish.
Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Ambazonia, Biafra, and friends of the world, welcome to the joint press briefing between the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the leader of the Ambazonian Liberation War, Dr. Cho Ayaba.
Thank you very much, great people all over the world, the wonderful people of Ambazonia, my own flesh and my own blood, my own kith and my kin. It is a unique honor and privilege to share the same platform with one of your leaders, the leader of war of Ambazonia, Dr. Cho Ayaba, who is here today representing the aspirations, the wishes and the hopes of Ambazonian people all over the world, and more critically, the leader of Ambazonia himself, the president, who is incarcerated in a prison in Yaoundé. A man I hold in great esteem and admiration. Our hearts, our prayers, our thoughts And our hopes, of course, go out to him, and we do hope he will be released very, very imminently. My dear people all over the world, Biafrans and Ambazonians, we stand on the brink of history on this very day. Today is the 9th day of April in the year of our Most High Elohim 2021. It is a day that will go down in history. The history of Biafra and Ambazonia peoples, and indeed the history of Africa at large. As a day that our peoples came together with close ranks, identified our common problems, and crystallized it in a speedy emergence of these very two nations. We Biafrans and Ambazonians have resolved from this very day to do what we must do and everything humanly possible to ensure that we change not only the narrative, but to begin the process of the eventual reclaiming of our long shared collective heritage, a shared heritage that goes back to the beginning of time. Today we are indeed on the brink of history. A lot of people never wanted us to get together. A lot of people never wanted us to identify with one another. Those who are benefiting from our misery and our pain, today we have reduced all of them to nothing. Because genetically and culturally, Biafrans and Ambazonians go back to the beginning of time as original peoples of southern Nigeria and southern Cameroon. Geneticists have sequenced and dated the DNA of Biafrans and Ambazonians and discovered them to be one of the oldest DNA on planet Earth. The earliest culture builders on planet Earth, known to archaeologists and anthropologists as the Bantu peoples of Africa, originated from within the regions of Biafra and Ambazonia. We are old people. We are the people of the ancient. From these very Biafran and Ambazonian regions, the Bantu homeland and the cradle of human civilization, the great Bantus migrations of 1500 BC to 2000 BC took place to introduce our collective civilizations to other corners of Africa and beyond. The history of our two peoples, Biafrans and Ambazonians, has indeed been intertwined and shared from time immemorial. Our forefathers were very much aware of this shared heritage and destiny of Biafrans and Ambazonians. And at different times in history, the coming together of Biafran and Ambazonian peoples under collective leadership and cooperation has produced radically rewarding results. We should perhaps mention a few examples here. Examples of the powerful and rewarding results that Biafra and Ambazonia partnership could produce we are seen in the liberation of Haiti, a former slave colony of the French between 1791 and 1804 through a historic revolution. Our people are noted because they are warriors. Ambazonians and Biafrans alike fought side by side as one people in Haiti that made Haiti the first black nation on this very earth to shake off the shackles of slavery and domination. This is the origin of such extant Haitian phrases as Ibo Gramon and Ibo Lele, as you have today in Haiti. Similarly, during colonial invasion and the subsequent colonization of these regions, which was nothing but a sophisticated form of slavery, our peoples, Biafrans and Ambazonians, fought colonial enslavement with everything they had. The exploits of Ekumeku, the secret society of freedom fighters in Biafra land that engaged the British invading colonialists for over 3 decades is still very fresh in our minds. Again, it was to people from Biafra and Ambazonia that the burden of ending colonial occupation politically in the region fell on their shoulders. Hence, we have the activity of the Nigeria Council, the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon, NCNC, of course, well superintended by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, which was coordinated by nationalists from Biafra and Ambazonia as reference in the anti-colonial movement that would produce the present Berlin Conference design states like Nigeria and Cameroon, which unfortunately Biafrans and Ambazonians are suffering untold hardships under. The sufferings and pains of Biafrans and Ambazonians are carefully and diabolically designed neo-colonial schemes to ensure that our peoples, who are natural leaders of the black world, never develop or make any progress, consequently leading to the subjugation of the entire African continent in perpetuity. This diabolical neo-colonialist scheme has not succeeded because the colonial enslavers simply decreed it into existence. No, it was succeeding because some fellow black people or Africans decided to make themselves willing tools in the enslavement of the rest of their brothers and sisters, and this is something that we are determined to bring to an end. This trend is by no means a recent trend. It is indeed a trend that is as old as the Arab enslavement of Africans and will be perfected through the European enslavement and colonization through invasion of the rest of Black Africa. In Africa, there are groups whose whole economic existence and their worldviews have evolved around their collaboration with those who have no value for African lives and want to destroy Africans by every means. That is how the phenomenon of the Fulani terrorist proclivity have been created over the ages to destroy everything that is African. It is a proclivity that has engendered the existence of not less than 6 or 7 terrorist groups that are owned and operated by the Fulani people, terrorizing people and grabbing their lands across West African sub-region, as well as the areas bordering the entire Gulf of Guinea. It is a proclivity that has been enabled by some evil people, both outside and inside Africa. Both Biafrans and Ambazonians have been victims of this evil. And today, going forward, we have resolved to bring it to an end. Over the years, our grandfathers and our grandmothers have stomached this terrorist proclivity in the hope that it would go away somehow. But it's clear to all that after so much turning of the other cheek, because when they slap us on one cheek, we turn the other cheek for them to slap as well, and payment in blood, these bullies never ever became reasonable. Instead, it has emboldened them. This is part of the reason why Biafrans and Ambazonians are coming together this very day to confront our collective enemies together. We are also coming together to rediscover our shared biological and cultural heritages. Extant anthropological studies point to the cultural unity of Biafrans and Ambazonian peoples because we are one people. Anybody who is doubting us should please consult their genetic studies and DNA mapping, which point to a singular origin of both Biafrans and Ambazonians. It is therefore only logical that this day would come. We are grateful to Almighty God in heaven, for determining that this alliance must be formed so that God's own people will be set free, as only Him has decreed. We are indeed on the brink of history. So far, even though our struggles for freedom have had different trajectories, Biafrans and Ambazonians have a shared destiny. Our collective destiny is to once again lead the continent of Black Africa to achieve the type of civilization that humanity will marvel at, just as two ancestors did when they civilized the whole of the known world around them. In the coming days, we Biafrans and Ambazonians will be communicating to the world in sequence, and as the need arises, our blueprint for cooperation preparatory to the re-emergence of our nations, just like the Almighty God in heaven, Chukwukika Biama, has decreed. In this vein, I hereby welcome every Biafran, every Ambazonian to a new dawn of our shared destiny and collective leadership of our peoples to lasting freedom. Long live the Republic of Biafra. Long live the nation of Ambazonia. Thank you very much. And now,
yes, sir, and that was a press briefing coming from our leader, Mazi Iyke, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And let me use this opportunity to welcome the leader of the Ambazonian Liberation of War, Dr. Cho Ayaba. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks to my brother Mazi Iyke, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. We have assembled here today in front of our two peoples to declare our intentions to work together to ensure a collective survival from the brutal annexation that have occurred in our both nations. We understand the difficulties that both peoples, the people of Biafra and Ambazonia, have faced in the last 60 years. But we have been discussing in the past few months to ensure that our collective strength be brought together to be more impactful to ensuring that we do not bequeath to the next generation a more oppressed homeland than we inherited. The Ambazonia and Biafra alliance is critical in an area where Nigeria and Cameroon have established two autocracies that have used violence as a political tool to suppress our both peoples. Within Nigeria itself, you have in the north the Hausas and Fulanis who have cross-border relationships in Niger. In the west, you have the Yorubas with cross-border relationship into Benin. The people of Biafra have been denied access to Ambazonia. And we must recall that during the Biafran War of Independence, while countries like France, that is the highest investor today in Nigeria, provided support, countries like Ivory Coast, Norway, and others, the one country being ruled by a Fulani man that refused Biafra the opportunity to receive support to prevent genocide was Cameroon, because Ayijo, a Fulani man, preferred the domination that was exercised by the Fulanis from within Nigeria and Cameroon over the Biafran people. Ambazonia is the only access you have. And within Cameroon itself, while the people have relationship with Central African Republic and other countries, Biafra is our only closest neighbor with massive investment within Ambazonia. Biafra is also the place where thousands of our people have sought refuge and have been treated with great hospitality. And for this, I want to thank the people of Biafra who have taken care of our refugees, and I ask you to continuously support them. Going forward, we are going to work together in different areas to ensure that our both nations emerge from these exclusive servitude imposed by both Cameroon and Nigeria. In coming to this joint press conference, I understand the worries of Ambazonians, and I have taken time to brief other leaders to make sure that I can allay the worries and fears of our people. These worries and fears is rooted in history. We were part of the Eastern House of Assembly in Enugu. But one great difference is when our leaders walk out of that house, there were no helicopter gunships that mauled our people. Our people were not massacred because we chose to establish a capital in Boya. But in the last 4 years, we have observed with great dismay the rapacious policy of Cameroon, the tyranny of a system that is intended on governing Ambazonia without consent. And if I will be given a choice to make Biafra my friend or Nigeria my friend, I will understand that the state that kidnapped and renditioned hundreds of our people, who were then locked incommunicado, subjected to torture, brutality, and sentenced to life in jail, was not the people providing sanctuary to our people. If I will be given a choice between Nigeria and Biafra, I will recall the thousands and thousands of Biafrans who are part of our economy. I will recall history, that when we had a wonderful trade with Biafra, the port of Tico was vibrant. The port of Victoria was vibrant. So too was the port of Port Harcourt and Calabar. But the Fulanese that have been governing Cameroon at that time dismantled our economic infrastructure and made it impossible for bilateral trade between our country and Biafra to take place, subjecting our population to impunity, making it impossible for any cross-border relationship. As you have said, we are one people, interculturally linked. But I also want to remind Ambazonians that I take your concerns seriously. That is why this alliance is split into 3 phases. First, to ensure that both peoples are liberated from the tyranny imposed on them, and to establish within a transitional period methods of collaboration and cooperation to dismantling the economic blockade that have impoverished our 2 nations. And within this period, there will be massive consultations within Ambazonia to ensure that any treaty that will be binding between the 2 nations is approved by the Ambazonian people. This relationship and alliance is critical. Across the globe, nations and peoples and countries are coming together to ensure the prosperity of their people, to ensure the liberation of their people. The Biafrans have been subjected to genocide, ecological hazard, by a few greedy people who have hijacked an entire nation and make sure that they treated the Biafran people with impunity. For the past 60 years, Cameroon rolled its tongues into Ambazonia, subjected our people to economic deprivation, political asphyxiation, cultural intoxication. Those who spoke were murdered. Those who escaped were hunted like games, rendition, and incarcerated incommunicado in the jails of the occupier. For us, the Ambazonian people, we have resolved in the past 4 years to match Cameroon method for method and ideal for ideal, to make sure we arm ourselves to the teeth, to ensure that the brutality that our people have been subjected to in the past 60 years comes to an end, so that we can establish within our own borders economic and political systems that are indigenous to our own cultural and political realities, that our leaders are accountable to our people, that our bounties will be exploited for the development of our people and those who believe in our own values, that our nations will never again, the nation of Biafra and Ambazonia, taken hostage by a few greedy men, women raped, children subjected to misery, and our men turned into boys. The era of domination that benefited a few within our continent and beyond its shores, leaving millions destitute, leaving millions moving across the Atlantic dying in the ocean, must come to an end. We must redefine the contours of the continent. For the notion of Pan-Africanism must be redefined to ensure that self-determination of nations that have been caught under political systems that do not represent their interests becomes the norm. Before there was Nigeria, there was Biafra. You cannot allow yourselves to be taken hostage by a few men who've decided to rape your soils for their own interests. So too are Ambazonians. We don't seek this alliance as an aggression against others. We seek this alliance as a means of self-preservation against tyrannies that have curtailed for both peoples our right to survive within our own shores. We mean no evil to others, for everyone has a right to self-determination, and we are determined to exercise this for ourselves and for our people to ensure we bequeath to the next generation a better country than we inherited. God bless Biafra. God bless Ambazonia.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that wonderful speech coming from Dr. Joe Ayaba. I would want to ask just one question, but then I think it would be very, very imperative, to ask two questions. I wanted to ask one, that both leaders will address, both of you will address this question, but I want to ask individual question because, this is a historic event. And I want to seize this opportunity to ask these questions. Now, to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the HAUSA-SERVICE one of Biafra, I want to throw this question to you. Maybe not question per se, but let me throw this question this way. Just a few days ago, I came across an article written by New York Times. And this article said, and I quote, more than 1,800 prisoners are broken out of jail in Nigeria. Gunmen bearing machine gun and grenade storm a prison in a restive part of southeast Nigeria, many refer to as Biafra. Many refer to as Biafra, letting loose any inmate who wanted out. Now, I'm going to also take a line from this same article, which says Biafra in the same New York Times, and that article say it has been 51 years since the end of the Nigeria Civil War, in which people of Eastern region broke away from the rest of the country. Biafra, the state they created, came to an end when its leaders surrendered after 30 months of fighting. But the Biafra dream is alive and well. And when I listened to both of you are listening to Dr. Joe Ayaba, I see the same agony, the same story, the same kind of experience. I also have come across an article which says that some of the Ambazonian leaders who sought for refuge in Nigeria were arrested secretly and repatriated back to Cameroon against international law. Now, why I made references or try to read from this report is because a lot of people may have somehow a different opinion, divergent views about the historic alliance between Biafra and Ambazonian. I want the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, our leader Mazi Iyke, what assurance are you giving to Biafrans, knowing fully well that New York Times, for the very first time since the beginning of the restoration struggle for Biafra, they are now recognizing Biafra in the east side of Nigeria. Can we hear your opinion on this?
Yeah, thank you very much, Simon. And once again, let me commend my dear brother, Dr. Joe Ayaba, for this event this evening, morning, noon, or night, depending on where you're watching us from. I did say many years ago that a time will come when they will talk about us. And that time has come. And they are talking about us because of what we have been able to exhibit over the years. Consistency, determination, resoluteness, and of course, above all, being ideologically, philosophically, and spiritually consistent in what we are doing. Because the word secession, I do not recognize. The word, should I say, extremism, I do not recognize either. Because as I have always argued, you cannot secede from something that you're older than. The white man came and decided to create Nigeria. Nigeria is not the creation of God. And if we continue along the same line, including my dear brothers and sisters of Ambazonia, then ultimately the world will recognize what we are yearning for and do something about it. If they fail to do something about it, we will do something about it ourselves. Because one thing is certain, when did Cameroons come into existence? You heard our dear brother there, the leader of the war of Ambazonia, telling us that these some Ambazonians are looking at today. At the time they were in Enugu, attending the same Eastern Constitutive Assembly in Enugu. The man you're looking at, Dr. Joe Ayaba, and all Ambazonians at the time had their political representation. It is a very good thing. I saw the map that was displayed when Dr. Ayaba was speaking. Look at it very carefully. You will see that when it came to us, it used to be called the NCNC, National Council of the Cameroon, or National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons. When they say National Council of Nigeria, they were referring to Ambazonia. Ambazonians were part of us in Enugu before. Somehow, the powers that be determined that they should be cut away from us, that we are no longer one people. What gives you recognition is truthfulness. What gives you recognition is consistency. What gives you recognition ultimately is the ability to let your enemies understand that you will sacrifice anything sacrificable to get that which is right for your people. And that is why we are getting a mention in New York Times. As you would say, you did not mention CNN because the same thing happened to CNN, even quoted me for the very first time. I'm not sure they've done that before. CNN quoted what I said regarding the attack of a non-gun, I wouldn't call it an attack, the granting of grace and freedom to people who are illegally incarcerated in Nigeria. And I do hope as time goes on that the same level of consistency and spirit of never say die will go into all ethnic nationalities within Nigeria and beyond that are yearning for freedom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that insight on that report. Yes, I didn't come across the CNN report yet. I'm going to look into that. Dr. Cho Ayaba, my question, or, I would ask you to make a comment, is on the fact that you have actually elaborated a lot here, the dividends, or what I should say, what await the Ambazonian people, through this alliance with the Biafrans. We've also have seen how the Nigerian government illegally repatriated Cameroonians, Ambazonians, back to Cameroon against the international law. And of course, what assurance are you giving people of Ambazonia that the alliance between Ambazonia and Biafra is going to be more fruitful than ever having anything to do with Nigeria, considering the fact that they have breached international laws, repatriated people of Ambazonia back to Cameroon, and today most of them are in jail unconstitutionally?
Thanks for that question. If you look at the map across the globe, whether within the European context, if you look at why there was a Second World War or First World War, you will discover that there are Germans within Switzerland. There are Germans, the Germanic race in Austria. You have the French across in Quebec and in Belgium and different places. And although this is what I call a linguistic kind of unism, these countries have always sought alliances with people with whom they have some cultural attachment for both cultural expansion, economic development, and purposes of self-preservation. And as I stated, the Biafrans are isolated. Ambazonians are isolated. These two nations form an economy of close to 72 million people, put together bigger than the economies of more than 100 United Nations countries. The Ambazonian economy has been sustained from Biafra, where people have had access to cheap goods. We are also aware that more than 20 years ago, Cameroon helicopter gunships bombed boats that were coming in from Biafra, bringing in goods into Ambazonia. We also know that while the Hausas and Fulanis are highly attached in the north to the countries beyond the border of Nigeria like Niger, and strengthening that alliance for both economic and political power, and the Yorubas are attached on the other side with Benin, ensuring their survival and self-preservation. What choice does the people of Biafra have? It's Ambazonia. And so this political alliance is crucial for the purposes of self-preservation of the two nations, and also to let the others who have occupied our both countries know that we will not choose our friends based on the definitions and interests of those who've subjected us to impunity. As you've rightly said, a few years back, hundreds of Ambazonians were illegally kidnapped. Those who were even sought asylum within Nigeria, they were subjected to psychological torture in prisons across Abuja, chained like sheep to the slaughter. In addition to Cameroon, where they were incarcerated, detaining communicado, sentenced to life in jail. This is the collaboration between Yaoundé and Aso Rock. It serves the interests of Yaoundé and Aso Rock. It doesn't serve the interests of Ambazonia. And it has put to shame, it has brought shame to the Biafran people who have shown great hospitality to our people, including ensuring that there is protection for our refugees. Even though the refugees are within the Biafra land, we have observed with great shock attempts by Yaoundé to work with certain political individuals within Nigeria to repatriate our refugees despite the raging war. This collaboration, as I have said, is defined in 3 phases. I will be leading on behalf of the Ambazonian people, working with the people of Biafra and the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra to ensure that in phase 1 of this collaboration, we are able to work together to ensure the self-preservation of both peoples. However, the Biafrans choose to do it with their choice. For us, Ambazonia, the right to self-defense is a right that we have invoked, because the only weapon of choice that Yaoundé and Cameroon has used in 60 years is that of rifles, machine gun. We have risen up, armed ourselves, and we will continue to arm every Ambazonian to make sure that even after independence, there will be no threat to our independence as we saw 60 years ago. And I think it is important that when we establish a free and independent nation beyond our borders, there should be another nation that is free to engage in trade, commerce, dismantling the economic blockade that both countries of Nigeria and Cameroon have imposed. As we move forward, we will be looking at the details to expand the details of our collaboration. And as I know, and as I said in my opening statement, to assure the Ambazonian people, in times of peril, leadership must make decisions that safeguard the interests of the people. There will come a time when the Ambazonian people will be able to certify the instruments of collaboration to be binding to both Ambazonia and Biafra. And that can be invoked under international law as binding to both peoples. I trust my brother Mazi Iyke for his steadfastness, for his ability to galvanize and mobilize the Biafran people. To you, the Biafran people, this is what I'd like you to know. You cannot allow people to invade your land, use your resources to arm themselves and subject you to torture while you escape across borders to establish little niches in different countries. You must rise up in whatever way, form or shape to defend your right to exist, defend your right in the land of your birth, to exploit your resources for the benefit of your own people, and to make sure you can bequeath to the next generation a better place than you have inherited. A genocide took place in your land. Those people didn't die in vain. In the past few weeks, we have observed with shock and awe helicopter gunships throwing bombs in your suburbs. Those people who have died have not died in vain. And I can assure you, we will establish within the Gulf of Guinea stable political systems that would ensure that our partners beyond our region can trade with us with respect for our independence, and to make sure that we can reap the benefit of international trade. What we should never allow again, and I say we, Biafrans, Ambazonians, and all peoples within the continent who are blessed with the bounties that God has given us, is to allow tyrants and murderers to hijack our states and use it as experiments for murder and genocide. That era has come to an end.
Well detailed comment on that question I asked. Thank you very much. Both of you have done so well, and our viewers also thank you for watching. We are going to ask you, both of you, to give somehow a closing statement, word of encouragement to both countries, both nations, especially those of our men in the forefront of this struggle. We want you to give word of encouragement. Very brief. We can start from Mazi Iyke of Biafra.
Yes, thank you, Simon, and once again, thank you, my dear brother, Dr. Cho. What I have to say is very simple, is that we have embarked upon a mission and a journey from which there is no turning back until victory is assured. What we can also tell our people today is one thing, that we are not going to stop what we are doing until freedom is secured for all our peoples. It doesn't matter what the enemies do. It doesn't matter what they intend to do. It doesn't matter the sort of collaborations they may enter into. It doesn't matter what form of brutality or any form of brutality they may wish to visit upon us. We are resolved and determined to make sure that we prosecute this very campaign to its glorious end, because in the end we're going to emerge victorious. There are men who are fighting, people who are defending our land against the excesses of Fulani Janjaweedism, those who have come from the Sahel to take over our land. We're not going to allow them to do that. I must encourage them, and also encourage Ambazonian fighters as well in all that they are doing to ensure that the land of Ambazonia is safe. We must not make this very mistake that most people do all the time, to think that help is going to come from somebody else. Nobody's going to help us. We are here to help ourselves, and God willing, we are going to emerge victorious. So I thank all people watching right across the face of this planet Earth today, and especially to this very union of Biafra and Ambazonia, because I do know that in time to come, it will yield positive fruits and results that will help propel both nations towards freedom. And that's why we are here. That is what we are dedicated to doing, and that is what we are going to do every blessed day of our lives until both peoples are free. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear Mazi Iyke of Biafra. Dr. Cho Ayaba, can you give the men in front line your word of encouragement?
Thank you very much. First, I would like to thank my brother for the courage. Both of us standing here today is out of courage. And I want to thank you very much for having that courage to make sure that we can step out of the cocoon and speak together. To our both peoples, the people of Biafra and Amazonia, I would like you to be assured that in our greatest moments of need, like those of others before us, they've established alliances to ensure their survival. Look back and you find roads and our villages littered with the charred bodies of brave men and women who rose before us to attempt to defend our lands. You look back and it's horror and pain faced by millions of people who have never known happiness, who've never known peace, facing ecological and economic disaster of untold proportions, imposed by others who have sought to occupy our both countries without our consent. Look back and there is genocide and hopelessness. You look forward, there is hope. But you require determination and courage to marshal on and to make sure that we can both be free. Ambazonians must know The tenure of Cameroon in Ambazonia has come to an end. The last chapter of its presence has been written by the blood of our people, and its tyranny and subjugation and impunity and abuse shall never again be tolerated. We will establish going forward friendship with people who have similar experiences and who mean good for us. But we'll also ensure we proudly safeguard and preserve our independence. To you, the people of Biafra, you have to stand firm. The past has been difficult. The present is hopeless. But the future under your present leadership and construct is very hopeful. God bless you all.
Yeah, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. This is a wonderful alliance, and I'm very, very pleased with this. Honestly, Dr. Joe Ayaba and our leader Mazi Iyke coming together, an alliance for self-determination. This is something that is worth doing. Alliance for freedom, alliance for self-preservation. You see, this morning I was running through what a few things that our leaders said, which is very pertinent in this thing, is that the white man came out of nowhere to come and create a country for us, and we all jumped to it. We take it as something. I don't know how would I put it. We are so happy about it, and we are not even asking questions. And this morning I just saw something. I don't know where the article is. A woman was trying to say historically that the first white man came to earth in 16-something. But the world didn't start in 16-something. There was the world long before that. So the person that came in 16-something went over, when they say secession. Secession means we are seceding from something. Like our leader rightly said, you can't secede for something that you are older than. Does that make sense? You secede from something that was in existence before you came in, so you want to get away from there. Now, if they say that Nigeria wants to secede from Biafra, that is well said, because Biafra is a lot older than these people, and there is nothing any of them can do to stop what we are doing. We are here to talk about our independence, and our independence is what we're going to talk about. Regardless of how they think or how they feel, it does not really matter. Let's listen to this briefly. Then I will go in and make the closing remark on this before we can, go into our normal conversation, because there's so much substance in what these two people said yesterday.
People did not exist before 1681. Again, white people did not exist on planet Earth until 1681.
That's right.
Number two, any claim that this group called white people, any claim that group is rooted in biology or derived from genes or biology or is innate or is from nature is a lie. Third and final point, as a matter of foundational law, actually let me say it this way, white supremacy has been embedded in the United States of America from its founding as a matter of law. Now, I don't expect you to buy all that, to get all that, to believe all that, at least not now. But my job is to share with you the legal history that proves each of those three claims that I begin with. So let's go. Let's get started. We have to begin this conversation in colonial North America, specifically in the colonies, the British colonies of Maryland and Virginia. Both were British colonies, and both shared a number of particular characteristics. First, their economies were rooted in tobacco farming. If you know much about tobacco farming, it requires tremendous human labor. Lots and lots of workers. So those who owned large plantations, big landholders, constantly needed laborers to do the work to grow the tobacco. In addition to sharing an economic base, both colonies had an incredible gender imbalance. roughly 10 men for every woman. Now, let's understand a little bit about the folks who constitute the people in these two colonies. Oh, and by the way, let me give you a year. We're in the early 1600s, okay, the early part of the 17th century, colonial North America. England had, for some bizarre reason that today demographers cannot explain, there was a population boom in England in the early 17th century. So there were lots and lots of poor British people who were on the public doles, who couldn't find a way to make a living, who couldn't feed themselves. So the king in England was quite happy to have them sign a contract of indenture to then go work in the British colonies. And that is what happened. Both indentured and enslaved persons, according to historian Edmund Morgan, were sold and traded like cattle. But of course, not all laborers stand equal in terms of their labor agreement or lack thereof. Those who came under a term of indenture worked for a term of years, and presumably this indenture was an agreement that they chose to enter into. The terms of indenture were largely protected by British law, although the terms that took form in colonial North America were quite different than those that existed in England. For example, in England, indentured servants could marry because that was viewed as the way to produce the next group of workers. In this country, indentured servants were prohibited from marrying, and if women were unfortunate enough to get pregnant during their term of indenture, they added usually about 7 to 9 years onto their term of indenture and 1 year to the father. Slavery, of course, was a status that came with life, work for life. There was neither British law nor international law to prohibit or restrict slavery. What we do know is that at this time period in colonial North America, there were free persons of African descent. We know that landholders freed slaves. They did so in wills. They did so by allowing them to purchase their own freedom or the freedom of a family member. The vast majority of workers, laborers, in colonial North America at this time were British men.
All right, this is why I wanted a piece of that, not that I want to go through this entirely. This is a very good anthropology, a very good history of things. I want to collaborate with our leaders. They have said in the alliance, the white man came from somewhere, and then they use the word secede. We want to secede. Secede from who? From people that were older. And listen, this woman is a historian, is an anthropologist. She did proper investigation. And why is this whole thing coming from British? I don't know why God created these people, because maybe just a punishment. People to come in and, because everything, this is British Columbia, they're talking about, you see British, what British are. Anywhere they go, they create problem, honestly speaking. Check the Anglophone countries. The French people, they came in as expedition. But at least, you can't compare them to the British. Look at the way they are struggling. Katina Lang, or whatever they call her, the ambassador, is traveling all over the place with Okada, trying to teach us how to keep Nigeria one. He loves us so much. These white people, they love us from Britain. They love us so much that they leave their country. They come to the zoo, to the place they call zoo, Nigeria, the monster that they created, to come in there and teach us how to become one. Meanwhile, their own country is falling apart. The union have disintegrated. No, that's not enough for him, for her, or whoever she is. She is coming to teach us how to be one. No, they love us so much. Oh my goodness. I never knew why the British woman or the British man would love me so much as to leave his own heaven, quote and unquote, heaven, to come to hell, to tell the people in hell how to, bath with cold water and how to stay together, and be one. Everything they are doing it for their own self-interest. I'm very happy about what the Ambazonians and the Biafrans are going to achieve. This is good. This is unity. Just take a look at the map. I'm looking at the map and I'm like, wow. Because we know that one day that map is going to be one. We are the same people. The same people that people came in and took us and split us apart and make us believe that we are not, they're trying to keep us one. That is the point. When they created that thing, that giant monster that is killing everybody, and they called it Nigeria, and they gave it a name, and everybody's jumping. For what reason? For whatever reason, I think God has a hand in this. Because if they can come in and create the word Nigeria and call it a country, and people have passed through history, these are people that Ziki Jelo in the rest of them. I remember my mom as a little boy, as a child, I was used to hear my mother. They would, there's this hot iron that they use in stretching their hair, making their hair look not coily anymore. Then my mother's voice will be ringing. The woman can scream. You can always pick up her voice amongst women. She will be singing and these people were there. They watched these things happen. For whatever reason, they were not able to get up and ask themselves, why should these people even come here in the first place and come here and tell us what to do? I know they resisted. I know that they didn't. The white man didn't get it very, very easy with us. We know that, but they didn't do enough. They weren't supposed to give up. They were supposed to continue, just the way we are doing the struggle today. The British man will get up one day and say, "Nah, I don't know what to do with this. Just go, take your wahala too much." If we stop today, we are not doing any justice to our children, our generation. We have to continue. Thank God we have a leader who, for the first time in my life, know that microphone is just a very powerful weapon. I didn't know that. I had used it. After the war, I was a musician. I sang so much. I work with the microphone almost all my life, to be honest. I didn't know how powerful it was. Atomic bomb, Raw. Because this man has really taught us that words has power. Now when they go to church, you say God created, the world was created by word, right? God spoke the word and the world was created. This one, that's the way we understand it. I don't even know much of the Bible, but I know that there was something similar to that. No, don't quote me. I'm not a pastor. I don't know how to use the words. But what I'm saying is that the words, the power of word, of spoken word, is what our leader has used to wake us up. Most of us were sleeping. Which university? Some of us went through universities, went through primary school, secondary school, university, and all that. But there were things they didn't tell us. Self-preservation, we never thought about it. We just give up very easily. And past our people are people that have studied, they have all the degrees in the world, but the Fulani, Ishiokbobo, Nachari Nama, they are the ones that are dictating for us what to do, and we are following them. It's just that we've slept for a long time. We are like an ice block. When you put an ice and the ice is shaped, and for you to reshape that ice, you have to put it where it's going to melt back into water so that you'll be able to reshape it. We have been crystallized for a long time, so the decrystallization is not as easy as that. Our leader is doing it gradually, step by step. Biafra is here, is our thing. There is nothing anybody can do. I'll open up the lines for you to make your calls, and let's go into serious conversation this morning in reference to what our leader said in that amalgamation, that alliance, the alliance for self-determination, alliance for self-preservation, alliance for freedom. The sweetest thing. You don't know what freedom is until you get it, to be honest with you. Some people used to use the proverb, you cannot know the taste of the orange juice unless you drink it. We are drinking the freedom. We are getting there. We are very happy and excited about everything that is going on. No matter what they do, we are Biafrans and we are going home, whether they like it or not. Call me at 646-920-4541, 845-344-7984. And +1 929 406 and 9953. This is Radio Biafra. The line is open for you. Let's go into serious conversation this morning. Call.
Oh, nana. Land of the right side. John Lavine. My originality. Land of the right side. Biafra. Land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my fatherland. Biafra, land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my fatherland. We are children of the Most High, called by the name of God, the Creator. Wise men from the east, south, and the middle, great Biafran people. We're taking into idol worship and we lost the faith of our God. And as we wallowed in idol worship and the British.
All right, let me take a call coming in on WhatsApp on private line. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling.
Very good afternoon to you, sir. Good morning from your side.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, fellow Biafrans, good afternoon from my side. Mazi Iyke is calling from South Africa. My brother, you see, we cannot thank our leader enough for what he's doing, you know. We're beginning to feel the feeling of people that are going to be free, or people that are free already, because I know we are free already. We're just waiting for the announcement of Biafra, but we are free people. We can never be subjected to this anymore. So we cannot thank him enough for giving us the platform, like radio. How on earth will I have talked what I'm talking now? How on earth will I have my view of what has happened to us as people? How on earth will our people learn that we are about to be exterminated from the face of the earth by so-called Fulani and the Britain? I said we cannot thank our leader enough. Do you actually know what happened? In 1960, the Britain, they were outsiders. They were not from anywhere in Africa. They handed us over to another Fulani that are not indigenous. And I'm not sure if anybody is seeing it where I'm seeing it. That we have never experienced freedom from 1960. We are still being ruled by foreigners. Fulani are not from Nigeria. For crying out loud. What is going on with our people? What is going on with so-called leaders and politicians? Britain came and destroyed our lands and carved us into pieces. Remove our brothers from Amazonia by useless Obasanjo, fool that he is, that have destroyed our land, destroyed our businesses. Obasanjo destroyed so many businesses in our land. Look at the rest of them. And then at the end of the day, we are being handed over to Fulani. It's amazing. It's really amazing that our people are not seeing this. But I think we have woke up today to know that in the history of so-called Nigeria, there is no one who is going to rule Nigeria that is not going to be a foreigner. Whether Obasanjo becomes the whatever that they are doing, he's still going to be under Fulanis. He's still going to be under Fulanis. So we will never get that freedom to be on our own. We will never. So what are we going to do? Is to rise up. Mazi, I'm telling you, yesterday I was listening. I was very calm. The way I'm talking now, I was very calm yesterday listening to these great leaders. Dr. Cho is really a great man. That last comment that he made about today, yesterday, and tomorrow, I looked those words. They were like ringing in my heart. What we need to do to know that tomorrow is very, very hopeful. Mazi, I want to thank the Eastern Security Network for what they are doing. I want to thank our Brazilian brothers that are in the war front. And never again will Amazonia be subject to what they have been going through. There's so many videos that have gone around, seeing a young lady being butchered into pieces. The same way the Fulanis are killing people in Biafra land and everywhere in Nigeria. It's the same way that they are killing people in Cameroon, our brothers in Amazonia. But I think yesterday have marked a very great day in the history of Amazonia and the Biafrans. So let these guys wait from Cameroon. Do you know some people from Cameroon, from Amazonia, are languishing in jail in Abuja? They are being maltreated even in Biafra land. If not because of, there's a lot of things going on the background that our leader has been doing. But the last thing that I'm going to say is that I'm afraid of Nnamdi Kanu so much that I don't know how he managed to do all these things. Uniting the people of God together. Because Elohim said to him, if you don't unite my people, I'm not going to give you Biafra. He has gone that far to bring our people from Amazonia together. Bring all the Jaws, the Calabaris, the Igodo, and the rest of us together to tell you, you are the children of Chukwukike Abiyama. We need to go back and worship him the way he said we should do. My leader, I thank you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, may you live long. May Biafra live long. May Ambazonians live long. Mazi, I thank you for the good job you're doing, waking up to give us this message. Elohim will continue to guide you and your family. Ndewo, sir.
All right, thank you so much. This is Radio Biafra. We're still taking calls at 646-920-4541, 845-344-7984. All right, this morning, like I said, we're discussing our issue on those of you who listen to the broadcast of our leader, which is a repeat broadcast this morning on this program, for you to really tell us what you think. I have a call coming in on WhatsApp on private line. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here.
Yeah, Mazi Iyke. Good evening, sir. Thank you, sir. My name is Mazi Iyke. I'm calling from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I thank you for the job you are doing for Biafrans, and I thank our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and all the whole IPOP who are working relentlessly to make sure we restore our motherland. Yes, Mazi, yesterday was very, very historic in the life of these two nations, the Ambazonia and the Biafran people. These two great leaders, they are so wonderful, and they are blessings to their two great nations. Because when they were given that press briefing, it's very, very historic from some of the speeches, some of the words that was coming out from these two leaders, which most of us is exactly what we are facing today. And that is to tell you the camp of the enemy are in the disarray. After that press conference yesterday, they are in a serious panic mode. And those inside Asurok, Lai Mohammed and the rest of them, they can attest to that. This shows that the whole world is listening, and the people are paying serious attention in what is happening to these two nations. And they are coming together for the first time, what has not happened before, even during the civil war, of the genocide committed by the Nigerian state against the Biafran people, 1967 to 1970. And this alliance is the end of the neo-colonialism in Africa. Man, there's something that interests me so much from the speech of that Dr. Ayaba, the Ambazonian leader. But some people might not even understand, but that man have really given us, even we Biafrans, more courage for us to intensify our effort to make sure that we liberate ourselves. I can tell you, when that man was saying that word, I hold it very, very tight. And if you can see, if we all Easterners, the Biafran people, can be strong and come together and stand in support of the Eastern Security Network, which is the front line of our defense today, by trying to do what they should do. The Dr. Ayabe, one of the speech is saying, or when our brother Simon Ekpa asked him one question, and from what I grabbed from the speech, he said that we, the Biafran people, should use our resources to arm and to defend ourselves. That speech, some people will not understand it because our resources we have could be our mineral resources, which is in the Biafra land, which other foreign invaders are stealing as we speak. The resources this man mentioned could also be, as what we are doing is like almost every week right now, Biafrans all over the globe are coming together to make sure we contribute to support Eastern Security Network, which is our defense line as to speak. And that man will also said that they Ambazonian, that they have using their own resources to arm to defend themselves. And what they are doing in Ambazonia is a defense. They are defending themselves. He made it categorically clear. He made it open. This is the not era of time of trying to paint wares or try to make wares, to be suitable to some people. When you made mention of armed, some people will be scared. Some people will say, oh, you want to cause a war, or you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that. Why this, why that, why that? But if you try, we have been trying for many years in terms of, peaceful protest through peaceful means to make sure that if the Nigerian state can come to its conclusion to call for full dialogue, how the problem will be resolved. They could not do it. And now, since December 12, 2020, the Eastern Security Network was launched. You can see what is happening. You can see the enormous job they have done. And that is to tell you that we are all one. And we Biafran, we shall do everything within our power, within our means, to make sure we support Eastern Security Network to get our nation. Because the only thing they are there to do is to defend us. And during this defense, we are going to get our nation. So I thank them. I salute their courage yesterday. I thank our Supreme Leader for his tenacious mind yesterday, putting it clear, and also the leader of Ambazonia, to how they made it clear their stand for these two nations to come together to have a greatest alliance we have ever seen. And this is to show that we are moving in a great way, in a right direction. Thank you, Mazi. And may Chukwuka Biarama continue to strengthen you and strengthen our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, this is Radio Biafra. We're still taking calls here at 646-920-4541. And to be honest with you, it's amazing. The alliance is good. These people are our people. When you look at it, they come here, they split, they divide families. They tell you are now, they call you, they give you whatever name, and you forget. You're forgetting one nigga, or I was the one nigga, because now one does, or it does not make any sense. This same thing is happening, even in our land today. As soon as they started creating the states, and some people started finding out that finding fault to themselves. Oh, it's not from our state. Go back to your state and all that kind of nonsense. Caller on WhatsApp, tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here.
Good evening, Peters. My
Welcome.
name is Mazi Iyke.
Welcome to the program.
Calling from South. Yeah. Sir, I want to thank you for the good work you are doing, and at the same time, thank our leader, Mazi Iyke, and also the leaders of Amazonia for that great conference yesterday. You know, the conference indeed give up. I believe that conference is an eye-opener for many Biafra. For those who didn't believe what is going on, I believe by now their eyes has come to open to know that now Biafra is not just a mere talk. It is a reality in the face of our people. I thank God for that great press conference yesterday between Biafra and Amazonia. And I believe for all they have said through that conference, through that press release, I believe there's a new dawn and a new day for both countries. I thank our leader. I thank the leaders of Amazonia. But what I want to say now is for those who are not supporting Biafra, for those who are not supporting ESN, for those who are not supporting Mazi Iyke leadership, I believe if they listen from what is going on starting from few days back now, they will realize there's no other person but Mazi Iyke. All we have to do is just stand out to support him in every ramification, with everything we have within us. If we cannot support with money, they can support by joining Ipob, doing the necessary thing. Because what you stand to gain at the end of actualization of Biafra today, what will you tell your children? What will be your contribution? What will be your contribution? If your children come to ask you today, what did you do in restoration of Biafra? What did you tell them? You are not a member of Ipob. You are not supporting ESN. There's nothing about Ipob. You can boldly tell yourself, this is what I did through the time of fighting for the liberation of Biafra. I use this opportunity to call everybody, wherever you are, in diaspora, in Nigeria, in Biafra land, wherever you are. Do your possible best to support, because this is the time. If you meet this opportunity now, I don't know when we'll get it. Our leader have done his best. Sleepless night. You, Peters, and other rest of people that broadcast say, you people are doing your part. What are we doing as a people? Are we living here in diaspora to enjoy the good road, enjoy the good things of the other countries without trying to support our people? Most of us want to go back home, but we cannot go because of when you look at what is happening there in Zoo or in our Biafra land, we cannot go. Because of some of us, because of even our passport, Nigeria, those Zoo passport or whatever passport we are using, we cannot even travel. Most of people find it very easy to use other part of African country. Some people from Zoo, they will go to Senegal, go to Mali to get their passport to travel out of Zoo. But where we are saying where the Zoo are claim they are the whatever they are, the Africa, whatever. But their passport, they cannot present it anywhere and pass. But people we choose to go to Zimbabwe, go to any other part of country. And the other part of the world will recognize their passport.
Thank you.
But I believe as we have our independence today, our passport will be recognized everywhere in the world. So I thank God and I thank our leader and I thank every Biafran to support this movement and to support ESN and what our leader is doing, especially now. We have a collaboration with Amazonia. Thank you and God bless you.
God bless you. All right, thank you very much. This is Radio Biafra. I have a call coming in on Principal Officer's line. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Wow, 929-406-9953 is awake again. I can see that I can see that the line is awake. Somebody's trying to call me on it, but what is going on? Looks like. Caller, good morning. Are you there? Caller on Principal Officer's line. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here. That line is open. Why are you not talking? Caller on Principal Officer's line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. All right. It looks like there's something wrong with the line. The line is open here. You are talking, but I can't hear you. Could you check your phone, please, and see what the problem is? Let me take another call coming in. And, unfortunately, that line is not. I have a call on caller on WhatsApp. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, Mazi, good afternoon.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Mazi, my name is Paul.
Paul, stay on the line. Stay on the line. Just give me 1 minute. Stay on the line. Don't say anything. Let me see if this line is working. Caller on Principal Officer's line. Are you there? Caller on Principal Officer's line. I can see the line is you're online. You're talking, but unfortunately I can't hear you. Okay, maybe there's a problem here that I think I need to resolve. Because that line has not been working and it's working now. You're talking, but I can't hear you. Are you there? Can you hear me? All right, you can call me on the main private line and let's discuss this line. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe that's why I've not been hearing people. The caller is calling from Maryland. I don't know what number that is, but call me on 845-283-9665 so we can discuss this line because it looks like you're talking, but I can't hear you. All right, I have another. Paul, can you go on, please, sir? I'm sorry. Keep you.
Yeah, Mazi. Good afternoon, Mazi. As I said, I'm calling from Gabon. Mazi, I've listened to what you are saying, and since yesterday, when we listened to our leader, Mazi Nandekano, speaking with the leader of Ambazonia, because last time I called them and told them that the alliance between Biafran and the Ambazonia is a welcome development, is to make our oppressors to be panicked, because when we are getting, when you are united with our brothers, that you can see with unity, you can push every mountain, the mountain will fall. So the unity between us and as Ambazonia is another welcome development, is to show you that we are getting there. So that's why I prayed since yesterday. What I'm saying to all Biafrans, wherever you are, in diaspora or in Nigeria or in Biafra land, everybody must rise up. Do something to make our people. Some of us need Biafra, but they are not doing anything about it. If they see you, they say, "My brother, Ebekununo, where are you? Where are we now?" People must do something. You must, anywhere, especially we in diaspora, must rise up and do something. Our leader has been saying this for a long time ago. If you're in diaspora, you're not doing anything to support this restoration of our nation. You are not doing yourself and your generation yet unborn any favor. So you must stand up. You must do something. You must contribute, especially for our Eastern Security Network. We must support them. You know, so many people are doing a marvelous job, especially here in Libreville. I can testify. Some of our brothers, some of who are not in the IPOB, but they're not doing something for our security network, because I know that one day they will come and join the moving trend. So people must rise up. What we need is unity among us. Forget what the politicians are doing, because I know the days of politicians are numbered. They know that they are going to go down. They are going down, these politicians, because they are the one who are making something hard to us. But also, one with God is the majority.
Thank you, sir.
The IPOB, Biafrans is the majority, because God knows what we are doing. So, Mazi, I'm very, very happy for what I'm seeing, because I know that the Chukwuka Biama will see us through, and we see our leader Mazi Iyke through. Mazi, God bless you and your children and your family for the job you are doing for us. God bless Biafran and Gabon nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're still taking calls at 646-920-4541. I have a call from caller. Good morning. Caller on on private line. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning from here.
Yes, Mazi. Mazi, good morning. God bless you, Mazi.
Welcome to the
my name is Mazi, my man Ugo Onyejaka. Mazi, I am calling from the United States of America and I reside here in Washington, D.C., but I am from Amibo.
Did you try to call on the principal officer's line?
Yes, Mazi, I did.
Okay.
I did, and then 2 times, and then it dropped. Anyway.
All right, there must be something wrong with that line because it was ringing here and I picked it up. You were talking probably and I wasn't hearing you, so I have to make some adjustments.
Something is definitely wrong with that line.
All right,
I'm from Amibo. I'm so sorry. I'm from Amibo in Olo, Amibo, home of the tiger, and Amibo, home of King Daja of Republic. Mazi, thank you for all you do for Biafra every day, and I thank God Almighty for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi, I'm so happy about this new dawn in this our struggle. Okay, this association, and then coming back of the brothers, that is our brothers Ambazonia and the Biafras. But do you know that this Ambazonia that we are talking about, they have been an intricate part of Biafra land. Believe me, from beginning. And because of the strategy that was put in place by these white people and the Nigerians, they have did anything they could do in order just to remove the Ambazonia from Biafra land. You see, the Zamfara used to be a part of Cameroon, but they annexed Zamfara to Nigeria and then they removed the Ambazonia and give to Cameroon. It's a strategy of shrinking our border, making sure that all of us are as small as we could. That is the reason why they put all this politics and then the strategy of reducing our people, creating data, south, and all this thing. This is the same thing. So I can allude to what the guy said. He said if the Yorubas can associate with the people from the Republic of Benin freely, do free business, everything goes, and then it is to Yoruba. And then in the north, then you see the people from Niger and Mali. Then the people in the north can do business with them and then open relationship and everything. So why is it that it is the Biafra land that they put all this restriction that they did? Again, there is something that this man said that people do not realize. Ahidjo used to be the president of Cameroon during the Biafran War, during that war. And it is that Ahidjo that the North and the Fulanis, because Ahidjo is the Fulani man, then they had that agreement just to put the food blockade. They put that restriction and the food blockade from the Cameroon side so that no food will come from the Cameroon. Then even our ship and then all these, the ship, no ship goes through there, then they just blockade us from there. So that is Ahidjo, a Fulani man. You will know the part that the Fulanis played during the war. And this is how the Fulanis happen just to have their footnotes, that is in the politics of Nigeria. That is during that war. The agreement that they signed, even that agreement they signed up to today is something that is killing Nigeria as it is. There was an agreement that was signed with Nigeria and the Britain and all the people that helped to fight the war of Biafra. All those agreements is the reason why Nigeria is in the situation it is today. And that agreement, was signed under pressure and it was signed on the dotted line. Gowon knows about it. Gowon knows everything that is going on with Nigeria, but Gowon will not come out today. So because of that agreement, this is the reason why now the British people have brought their ship and their ship have anchored in Lagos. Because of the agreement, they have just signed off our land, signed off everything to British and signed it to the Western country. And this is the reason why America is not saying anything about this, because they are getting free oil. So having said this, I thank God now that we have realized that we are brothers across we are the same thing. And I thank God that the Ambazonia have risen up now to join this. So our people, this will tell you now that people are listening. You see, the New York Times reported about this agitation. That will tell you that we have gone to another level. We have gone to another level. We think that we are not doing anything, but look at what the type of confusion that is going on in Biafra land with the governors and the politicians. Look at how Nigeria is today. So the only thing we can do, we Biafran, is just to get our act together and unite around our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Biafra. Honestly, let us get ourselves together because Nigeria is going to destroy itself. Nigeria is collapsing. It has collapsed already. So, but how have we been able to get ourselves together? So I am calling on all the Biafrans, even if from Igodomigodo, even if you're from Biafra, Benue State, or any part of Biafra that you are, please be happy and rejoice. And then, join yourself and then support our website. Our ESN, Eastern Security Network. Eastern Security Network, when everything is said and done, these are the security that we have. Remember, they are the security of the people, by the people, and for the people. And their purpose is just to secure our land and make sure that they will draw the sand, that's the line on the sand, and say, do not cross here. This is the Biafra land. These are the people that are going to do it. Honestly, the God that gave this inspiration to Nnamdi Kanu to form this ESN is the God that have, instituted our soldiers and the military for the Biafran people. Because there is nobody that have what we have. So I am begging you, my brother, let it touch your heart, no matter how little it is. Please, for the sake of your brothers, for the sake of the elderly people, for the sake of your sisters that are being raped, for the sake of the loved ones that you left in Nigeria, for the sake of the properties that you have accumulated in Nigeria, please, I want you to do the needful. Just donate to the Eastern Security Network. And if you want to do this, the best place to go is to go to our website. And this website is www.ipobinusa.org/donate. www.ipobinusa.org/donate. If you do this, that is very simple. It's not complicated. Mazi, thank you. God bless you as you are doing this job for Biafra.
All right, thank you so much. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're still taking calls at 646-920-4541. Let's see, this on 845-344-7984. That's the WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp line is still working effectively. The straight line, I don't know, somebody is blocking that line persistently. If you're calling persistently, it all means you're not listening to the program. And this is interrupting my job, so I'm going to block that number very soon. I'll be able to open up. You can see that you cannot make any call on the straight line because somebody is there. I don't know how he does it. Probably was working on the computer thing and setting the computer to block. My phone is reporting it as a scam. Okay, let me see. I have a principal officer's line coming in. Let me see if this is going to work out. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Are you there? Oh boy, still trying to call. Let's see what happened. It looks like. All right, I have. Let's see. Let me take this one. Caller on Signal. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Caller on Signal. Are you there? Fortunately, that line, I don't know what happened to it. It just comes up and goes. Okay, caller on Signal. Are you still there? Tell us your name and where you're calling from. All right, that line went off again. Let me go to a WhatsApp line. WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. All right. Looks like I'm having an issue here with some of these phones. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to have to, get some music playing, and then I will go back to the lines when I'm done. I think I'll be able to set them up. This is Radio Biafra. Stay tuned, don't go away. We're still broadcasting.
Land of the right side, John Lavine, my originality. Land of the right side, Biafra. Land of the right.
All right, caller, good morning. Are you there? Caller on Signal. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi Iyke, good morning, sir. Doctor, how are you, sir?
Well, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a brother Chidera calling from my location. Mazi Iyke, I'm sorry I won't go the line of your thought. Please, just have some sleepless night, and a lot of things are bothering me when it comes to the kind of people we have back home as leaders. I have heard the whole of them saying that he knew those who come to attack people in Olo. And it's a political sponsor, well-known political sponsored people. My question now, sir, is if Hope Uzodinma knows those who come to Olo to attack whatever government facilities they claim, why is the army coming to show of force to humiliate and attack our people? And again, the second thing is the IG of police have made a statement without investigation, and they're claiming that was the reason why they fired him. But the second one are still maintaining the line of thought, saying it is IPOB. And the entire Nigerians know, those who are following the Fulani kind of thought, they all know that it's not the IPOB, and it is not possible on this earth whereby a government will be alive, not that they went to holiday, and this is happening in their facility without retaliation. The most kind of clean job ever done in that zoo. If these people is really IPOB, it is not in this war that there will be no kind of shooting left and right. These are people who are testing blood of the Igbos, and they have opportunity. The DSS saying their radio, the channel TV, also in the radio in the zoo, that 3 days before this attack, they give intelligence, including the governor, that there will be an attack. Then if those intelligence, and they say that is a drone, that is the sign is good by the facilities, all those information these people have, how come they don't know who is that? Why they don't do that? Because they know it's their own men, the Fulanis, who came to attack the facility. Mazi Peters, why I'm saying that? Because a lot of things we are reading online, and I want to find out why is it our senator, even though you don't believe in Biafra, did you also believe in killing the Igbos? If you don't believe in Biafra and you are representing Nigeria, you say Nigeria is indefeasible. Look at our leader yesterday with the Ambazonian leader. These are our own brothers. Then you can put Atiku Abubakar to Nigeria, but to take our brother Ayobo to Cameroon. And the useless people are claiming that Nnamdi Kanu is a miscreant. But the information from Nnamdi Kanu are the one that make you to go to court now to say that Atiku is not supposed to be, is not fit to be a president of a country. Now my question to these people, I believe they are listening, including Abaribe. Here in South Africa, Mazi Peters, there is a people called the EFF, and there's DA. These are main opposition party. If they don't like whatever you are doing in parliament, they walk away. If they raise an issue or you are talking something that not favor their people, they walk away. And I believe you in US, I've seen it both in BBC, both in the CNN and the rest of them, ABC and co. Just ordinarily walk away. They make a very strong statement. Why is it that our senators cannot walk away from Nigeria, whatever sitting in Aso Rock or in Abuja, in National Assembly? Why is it so that if you go through all the security information, to security from whatever the name call it in Igbo land, including that Imo State, no single one Igbo man. The CP of the Imo State is a Fulani man. And when this attack happened, what did they do? They send him to Abuja. Not retired, not penalize him, not sack him, no, they send him to Abuja. And our senators will go to Abuja, all of them will sit down. Even when Abaribe want to talk, he wouldn't go this area. If you want to talk generally with Nigeria, no single Igbo or Southern politicians or Southern senator will stand up in his favor. Mazi Peters, I know there's not a lot of time to say what I want to say, but my question of the senators, even if you don't believe in Biafra, did you also believe in killing the Igbos? If the governor of a state have acknowledged and say, I know those who come, they are political sponsors. So, and they are free. He said, I can tell you that they're no longer in the state. That's what he said. He said, these people are no longer in our state. They're invited from other states, from outside Imo State. So why is the army now going to Imo when the perpetrators have left Imo? And the senators and the governors are sitting quiet. Dave Umar said he knew those who come to kill our people in Ebonyi State. He going to escalate it to the highest this thing. Yet Why is the army? Why is the killing? Why are you going to be arresting people claiming IPOB? Why is IPOB making news when it's come to things concerning Nigeria? We want Biafra, not Nigeria. So we want to attack on certain things. You look at certain things going on. Police will be accumulated people in Aba. Did anybody attack prison in Aba? It was in Imo. Why coming to Aba? All those things, senators, the governors, the ordinary CP of a police can be from the state. The commissioner can be from the state. You read, I can send you all the whole security distance from Imo State. Not single one of them are Igbo. So in the southeast, those single Igbo is in the charge of anything, and you want to protect the Igbo land. And the senators will go to Abuja. All of them are comfortable sitting there, and they kill. And tomorrow you say, no, tell us that you want peace. The Bauchi governor now say, okay, imagine a governor from the Bauchi saying the killing from the east, they cannot take it anymore. Who killed who in the east? The Fulanis are causing mayhem, including the Ebonyi State, or is the recent one. I can send you something now, information coming from our place, from all the way from Ugo, Isuzu, OP, and the rest of them. The whole Fulani was chasing Ebonyi. Those ones that moved there, they are packed out now, and I will try my best to see how I can communicate to the highest authority of IPO, because as I'm calling you right now, I just get the message that all of them have moved to OP, and everybody know what that means. When they went to OP, that means entire Nsukka as a whole, they are camping there now, and the woman who have in Enugu are quietly welcoming them, telling me it's forest guard. Forest guard is just a name; it does not exist. Nothing is there as a forest guard. Then ESN, all of you gang up again just because that name is associated with Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB. What of the life himself? Why? What of the life himself? Why is the senator so wicked and so weak to that level? Why is Igbo nation so weak and so wicked to their people? Why is this so? God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, this is Radio Biafra USA 2. I'm hearing OP, OP, that name OP is kind of, I was at war there. That's where I started actually, at Nsukka area. That's what we call them at that time. Because when you see the farmer going to farmer, you now say, okay, from the house, that means that they from the beginning, you can't differentiate those people from the house for real, to be honest with you. That area is an area where, because I know Hana border, they're just on the border between the north and our people. So eventually, I know. Let's see. Let me try this line and see if it's going to work. Caller, good morning. Caller on Principal Officer's line. Caller on Principal Officer's line. Are you there? All right. I don't know what's wrong with that line. Okay, it's coming back. Let me try it again. Caller, good morning. To answer this call, says, what's up? What is that? Continue. Let's see. Oh, okay. I think the person is calling. Are you there? Caller on Principal Officer's line. Good morning.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Pronto? Hello?
Yes, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Mario. Sí, Mario. Sí. Hello?
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the program. I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes. All right, there's
Hello?
something serious. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. I'm sorry.
Hello?
Oh, boy. All right, let us forget about this line for now. I'm going to work on it after the program, because I'm having issues. I have issues with straight line. Let me try this straight line and see if it's going to come in. Caller, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mazi Iyke.
Welcome to the program.
Bless you. People gather my fully say heaven and control the affairs of Biafra. My name is Mazi Iyke. Mazi, the kingdom of God is here, no matter whatever anybody is saying.
Yes.
Mazi, so I probably went some people call our leader. We don't have leader. Even the one that's been calling Abarido, all of them is the same court. All of them are done tough. Mazi, see, all these Igbo politicians, they will give account of what happened in Igbo land from 1950 to this time. You see this time, let the procedures around. We are running around. Later, what goes up must surely come down. Later, they will not kill all of us. Later, all these Igbo politicians from 1960 this time around, all these people asymptotic names in Igbo land. They must give us account of what happened in Igbo land. Mazi, do you know? You see this they are bringing 5, 10 policemen, 30 policemen to arrest Ipob or to arrest anybody they see along the road. Times shall come, it will escalate and nobody will control it. And it's very, very soon. It will happen very, very soon. Very, very soon. All this running we are running, we are not going to run every day. But as the opposition, we are recruiting. Come and talk to them. See this. They are going to see our leader says they have already opened the gate of hell. See this Anambra State election. All of them, when they come up in the radio station, they are talking 2021. Mazi, all the age that they have this a party. Often the Anambra State is not although our no election in Biafra land. Direct affid. Everybody is a party. Go and pack it, or you will lose your motor and lose. Because very soon what is coming? What is coming? I'm telling you that thing. All of us, you know people, share of you. Only the other now became Gido. You have a Manuel Meruana, Procurate, Necessary, Timba to the radio station. If you hold him now in the name of politics, if we hold him back near Bonigo, now to look past it, no Prumun, or to not to run it with his whole. Idiots, a full idiot, away in you. Now, passing in the name of politics, in the name of non HAUSA. Now, so that island apple with now you have to all this change away. You see this time around. How will woman, how will family, how will relation, how will they handle why? I think for this time around, all of you maybe know why, maybe no, you people will begin to lose souls. May God bless you.
God bless you. All right, thank you so much. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We are almost come to the end of today's program, and don't forget that Mazi Iyke is coming in. I'm having issues with some of these phones, so I'm going to have to work on them today. By tomorrow, we'll have better conversation without interruption. The straight line, or the principal officer's line, the straight line is blocked. I don't know what is blocking it. I'm going to look into it. It looks like somebody's sending some viral thing into the phone. There's a number that is there persistently. I'm going to make sure I block that number, never to call Radio Biafra. Because if it is set up to disrupt what I'm doing, I won't take it. All right, don't forget our donation, our contribution to ESN. Still ongoing. Make it a day, make it something that you're going to be doing either weekly, monthly, daily, whatever way you think is comfortable for you. Just simply go to our website. It's very effective, www.ipobinUSA / and say donate. And the money will get there. Honestly, we need this money to support them, because they are the ones that are there to protect us. They are there working voluntarily to make sure that we stay awake, but at least they have to eat, they have to need medical attention, they have to need materials to work with,